Hi everyone. Today we'll try to understand basics of graph analytics. So in this, I will be trying to introduce you to graph databases and different elements of a graph database. So let's get started. So first of all, let's understand why graph databases are required. So consider a situation you must have used Google Maps. So there are two things to notice. There are different locations and landmarks and the roads connecting these landmarks. A graph is basically a collection of nodes. And in case of Google Maps, it is landmark and the edges, the roads. Now nodes are connected to each other using edges, right? So basically there is a relationship between nodes and the edges, and that is why graph find a lot of application in real world. Like for example, even social networking sites tries to connect you with like who you should know, different friends you have, social media, be it geographical problem statements like Google Maps is solving you for. Graphs can be of great help. Now let's understand the elementary units of a graph database. So in RDBMS, you know, in there we have rows, columns, and foreign key, primary key. That concept, these concepts don't exist in graph databases. The first element, the most important, is nodes. Vertices of a graph are called as nodes, as I explained you earlier. In terms of landmarks on Google Maps are nodes. Properties, information about the node. So, for example, in Google Maps, I will be considering this example only. You get a hotel, you get a petrol pump. So information about the petrol pump, the node, like what is the name of the petrol pump, what is its capacity, so on and so forth. Relationship. Now relationship is defined between two nodes, that how they are connected. In case of this Google Maps example, assume that landmark A has a road to landmark B. In this case, road is the relationship between these two nodes. So I'll be showing you a real an example also from sample database. Now, if we wish to assign any weights, we can provide these weights or the name to relationship properties. Right. So, for example, we have a road between landmark and landmark me where the road becomes a relationship. Now what can come in relationship properties? The name of the road, for example, National Highway 36. What is the distance between, what is the length of this particular road? 300 kilometers. Now this becomes the property of the relationship, right? It is not the property of the nodes. Just remember this. Label. A label is a name or multiple names that can be given to a node to help categorize it into different categories. For example, as I told you, on Google Maps, you have multiple landmarks. Some would be hospitals, some would be hotels, some would be historical monuments, etc. So these are the labels, these are the names that we give it to the nodes for grouping purposes. Now, let's understand this particular example that you can see on the side. So these blue are the node. These blue circles are nodes, which are cities name. If you can, Florida, Mississippi, and Carolina, Georgia. Now, the relationship between these blue circles is share border with. This is the name of the relationship. Now, for example, if you have properties, so it can be the length of the border and all that can be with the property of the relationship. Property of a node is different from property of a relationship. Property of a node is basically the property of Florida, like what is the population of Florida, how many skyscrapers, and how many monuments, something like that. Just giving you an example. Now, labels for these blue nodes can be cities, because eventually you can sense that these all are city names. So yeah, these are the basic elementary units of a graph database.